What was your inspiration to make that album?
Just over the top guitar, I think is probably what the inspiration was like, what can I do? What can the players that I get to come play on it, what can we do to just kind of try to do like an over the top sort of shred type of album, which would be maybe different from like the 80s type shred, like the neoclassical, like with Yngwie and the neoclassical, like McAlpine and Vinnie Moran. I love those guys.
And back in the 80s and 90s, my albums were a bit more raw, I would say. Quite shred-based, a shred genre. As I've gotten older, I've focused a lot more on like a more orchestral symphonic kind of scene, more use of keyboards, and I concentrated more, I think, on composition as well. On the new album, for instance, there's a few ballads, and there's a bit of everything, I think, for just about every genre. It's not necessarily a shred fest into electronic function.
But I do remember Paul and I getting up in the mornings and working the solos out, before we would go in and do them. And it was a real interesting for me to make that album. It was so interesting. I learned a lot of things. We had one guitar rig. We just had one rig, and we brought two guitars up with us. And a lot of times, Paul and I would sit pretty much right next to each other in the studio, and he would play a part and then just hand me the guitar, and I would play the on the same rig and everything. And that's where I really started to hear the difference between the hand. His hand sounded different than my hand on the same rig, and tone-wise, it was so obviously the playing was different, but the tone was different. And he had a brighter, more staccato-y tone, and I had a slightly fatter, a slightly looser tone, if you want to call it.